Okay.
So it's not like we dismissed him.
Yeah.
We just kind of ignored that part.
Okay.
But it was odd.
Yeah. It sounds like you gave him a lot of room in those years that he was declining mentally.
We did. We did indeed.
Yeah. That was probably the kind thing to do.
It was. And eventually, I had to write the board chair and say, you've got to step in.
Okay.
And I only just learned that Kelly had done the same thing.
Really?
She just now told me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how we ultimately resolved it.
Okay. How important was it in his style to earn or gain respect rather than demanding it?
Wow, these are amazing questions. I would say, for just my first response would be he demanded it.
Okay.
He didn't attempt to earn it.
Okay.
Unless that's what that talking about his fundraising and his bragging was about.
Yeah.
But that was lame.
Okay.
I would say he demanded it.
Okay. What about, in a similar vein, gaining your admiration rather than demanding it?
Demanded it.
Okay. Impressing you with his intelligence?
What about it?
How important was that to him?
Extremely important.
Okay. Okay. Did he gain influence by demonstrating his competence?
No.
Okay. Did he demonstrate a commitment to the group?
I would say no. This sounds really bad.
It's okay.
I can't honestly say he did.
Okay. Did he demonstrate a commitment to quality?
I can't say he did.
Okay. And I think this is a duplicate. Okay. Okay. So we've talked a little bit about his work style and these characteristics. I have something kind of similar to ask about the qualities of the culture. So what was it like to work here at that time? How important was innovation, being flexible or adaptable?
Oh, that was bad.
Okay.
Well, you said two things. You said innovation and then being flexible.
Yeah, being flexible, adaptable, experimental, those are all ways of being innovative. Okay.
No. In fact,
okay.
give you an example. So that fall I became dean of 2016. Mm-hmm. And Frank came to me, Frank Savia, and said, why don't we do some stuff on campus? And I'm like, well, yeah, why aren't we doing stuff on campus? Mm-hmm. He's like, well, do you think you could give some lectures? And I'm like, I'd love to give some lectures. Yeah, let's do it. And he said, well, we have to ask Dr. Harris.
Okay. And
so, now remember, from April to September, I was just an adjunct professor.
Okay.
And so I wasn't here. When I became dean, I started coming in.
Oh, okay, right. Because it was all virtual.
It was all online, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. And so Frank said, let me handle it. So he comes in and he's like, Dr. Harris, Greg and I have been talking and we're thinking about, and it takes him like 10 minutes. But ultimately he said, we're thinking about maybe Greg could do some lectures. Mm-hmm. And you could tell that Frank was weaving this into a fabric that Dr. Harris could say, yes, I like that.
Okay.
And he did. And that's how all this started.
Okay.
But it was a thing.
Yeah.
To offer lectures on a university campus was pushing the envelope.
I see. And this was just a few years ago.
It was fall of 2016 when your husband started coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. How important was a sense of competition with other similar organizations? Was there a sense of competition?
There was a little, Again, every question I could go for an hour on.
Okay.
There was a sense of cooperation and collegiality with the Holmes Institute, and that is because Ernest Holmes, who is a New Thought leader, according to Dr. Harris, asked Dr. Harris on his deathbed to make sure the Holmes Institute was alive and well. And so we've had this ongoing relationship with them, and I would say it's not been competitive. We've shared faculty and resources. Okay. I've taught for them. On the other hand, there's the California Institute of Integrative Studies, which is a 2-hour conversation. But basically, the short version is that the main dean who was fired went there. Okay. But the more complicated layer is that the dean who went there had arranged for UPR to be sold to them. I'm telling you.
You can't make this stuff up.
And it was almost done. All that was left were the signatures, I think. And Dr. Harris backed down at the last minute, apparently because Jeannie, his wife, sat up in bed and said, "You can't do this." And she doesn't speak.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah, this could be a TV movie.
I know. I was kind of afraid this would happen when you'd come in because it's so weird.
I mean, and these examples, they also paint a picture of what it was like. How important were outcomes, a sense of achieving something, reaching goals, taking action?
No, it was a sense of just maintaining.
Okay. So in terms of stability, things remaining predictable, rule-oriented, and bureaucratic, is that more descriptive?
I wouldn't even say bureaucratic. I would say autocratic.
Autocratic, okay.
There was no bureau.
Okay.
There was Dr. Harris.
Okay. How important were people being fair, supportive, and respectful of individuals?
Of people? Mm-hmm. What do you mean exactly?
In the organization, how important was being fair and supportive to the individuals, to the individual employees?
Among all of us, or just with Dr. Harris?
No, among all of you. In the UPR as a group.
How important was it
among employees?
To be fair?
And supportive and respectful of individual rights.
I think there was a general sense of that, but it was tenuous.
Okay.
Because you were given, each person was sometimes given overlapping and contradictory instructions. Again, I don't mean, this is coming off really badly, but I don't mean it to be. No, but case in point, Frank has a long history in construction, and Roger is our building and grounds person. And so Dr. Harris would tell Frank, "Oh, let's paint this," but he wouldn't tell Roger. And so Roger would come upon Frank painting and say, "What do you do?" And Roger's a painter. That was his business. And so he was like, "What are you doing?" "Well, Dr. Harris told me." "Well, he didn't tell me," and stuff.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It doesn't make you just want to shake your head and bury it in your hands.
Right. So how's that answer your question? I'm not sure. But there was a general sense of fairness, but
it only went so far.
It only went so far. Yeah, that's right.
Because giving people conflicting information or withholding it from people who should know sounds unfair. Yeah. And confusing, and creates more ambiguity and all of that.
And I haven't even talked about the sexual assault. So.
Oh, holy shit. I don't have a category for that. Good. I don't. Sorry. Maybe that should be added as a...
No.
Although that would run counter to a respect for individual rights, wouldn't it? So that would
it would. Okay. And it's an exemplar of so many things.